Heidi Chiavaroli here. We're on Boston's Freedom Trail this morning. The old State House is behind me. I love this place. This historic building is just nestled among these skyscrapers, and the entire place just captures the feeling of Boston, where history and contemporary culture come together. So the Boston Massacre occurred right here 247 years ago, and it's right here that the historic heroine in my novel loses her only remaining family member in the incident. So the Boston Massacre, summarized, was the event in which 5 colonists were killed at the hands of the King's army. But the reality of that night was a little more complicated. Tensions had been mounting between the colonists and the redcoats who occupied their city for some time. And trial records indicate that the colonists are not entirely innocent in the massacre. They are cursing these soldiers, they are throwing ice at them, they are pressing in on them with clubs. Some of them have drank too much at the local taverns. They are daring them to fire. They're looking for a fight, and that night they certainly get it. So it's interesting how the Sons of Liberty use this incident. Paul Revere's engraving of the Boston Massacre shows the old State House in the background, but it also shows this well-formed line of British soldiers who were firing on this rather innocent-looking crowd. So in the picture, we don't see the angry working-class colonists with their clubs. We see these well-dressed gentlemen colonists on the ground, blood gushing from their wounds, a little puppy in the foreground for good measure. And while this didn't accurately portray history, it definitely did what Revere set out to do, focusing on the fact that 5 colonists did die that night at the hands of the regulars. So before long, this engraving is circulating throughout the colonies, just serving to grow that disgruntlement that would eventually lead to the American Revolution. And it's here that the characters in my novel, Freedom's Ring, find themselves. So thank you so much for sharing this little snapshot of American history with me. If you'd like to learn more about my book, or maybe check out some research pictures from the Boston, Lexington, Concord area, I invite you to take a look at my website, www.heidichiavaroli.com. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.